What's up, Internet? I'm Matt Guff from thehouse.com, and I'm here with the one and only Jason Henderson from Burton Snowboards. How you doing, Jason?
Good.
Good. All right, so we have a couple boots here. Some of the really standout boots from Burton for the season. They're all standouts, but these are ones that really capture and gather a lot of attention. The Ion and the brand new Almighty. Mm-hmm. Where do you want to start?
Well, I might as well start with the Almighty.
Awesome.
I mean, it's a brand new boot in our line. Definitely a ton of new technology going on here.
Yes.
So I guess we'll kind of start from the inside out. One thing that we've changed on our high end is our new liners. It's called the Life Liner. So by updating to this liner, we still kept the polyurethane tongue right through here. That's what gives the boot its really good rebound and response. But then what we did is we switched up the rest of it back to a heat moldable EVA, but it is the highest quality EVA available.
Nice.
So you can remold it as many times as you want. It's the lightest EVA out there. We also perforated it too. So again, bringing the weight down, but it also makes it a little more breathable. Mm-hmm. So definitely a ton of response, but really good fit in there. It still has the sock lock, dry ride heat cycle, all those goodies on the inside. A lot of Burton boots, basically imprint 3 on up, have really good footbeds, so no need to, drop a ton of cash on extra footbeds if you don't need to, that sort of thing.
Internal, external J-bars.
Yep, you can, they have them internally, but if you do have a really narrow heel, you can super customize it, and Burton will actually send them to you, but they will Velcro right to the inside of the cuff here, so that, it kind of narrows up the heel cup even more, so you get really good heel hook with it. So.
Yeah. Now, I was able to ride these boots starting at the end of last season, mm-hmm. and I put some miles on them, and they're awesome. They're really awesome. Yeah. The liners are super comfortable. The dry ride heat cycle, it seems to actually regulate your heat pretty well. Your feet stay warm. Overall though, it isn't as stiff as a boot as I thought it was going to be, mm-hmm. and I like that. Like, I usually like really rigid, stiff boots, so anytime mm-hmm. I'm in a sock boot, I'm like, But for some reason, there's something about like the combination of like the forward, aft, lateral, and medial movements combined with the comfort and everything else that really made the Almighty's like a really outstanding boot.
Well, yeah, and that's a good kind of like segue into what the shell brings. It's a new construction called Ultraweave. You see this in a lot of high-end running shoes, but what it is, it's a woven external. So what that does, they actually can mold it into the shape.
Yeah.
So what it does is it eliminates a lot of need for just extra stitching, extra paneling, makes it more durable, but brings the weight of the boot down quite a bit. But since it is a fabric and it is a weave, they can actually control the way it flexes. So it can be stiffer one way, softer another way. This is just kind of the start of the next evolution on how boots are going to be made.
Yeah.
They're already experimenting with a lot of different materials, like carving this way, that it's pretty insane.
Wow.
So that's kind of what you're feeling when you're riding this boot. I ride the same boot. It seems like it's stiff in all the right spots. You need it, that toe and heel, but allows again for that medial and lateral movement where you need it.
Yep.
And with the power up tongue, just having that that plastic insert in the tongue with the articulated cuff still gives you plenty of support, toe and heel, but allows a little bit of side to side roll. Yeah. And then also having the rubber in the toe and the heel. Like, I personally will not ride a boot unless it has rubber in the sole.
Yeah.
Just because it grips the snow way better, especially when you're hiking around, hiking the pipe, wherever.
Yep.
But only in the areas where you need it. So having the EVA and the rest of it just brings the weight of the boot down the tongue.
Yep.
So
now, is that an EST optimized sole as well?
Yep. EST soles. Basically, it's not like you have to ride EST bindings for it. It's just kind of what we came up with a while ago. But essentially, what it is, it's a flat boot.
Okay.
So instead of having the 6-degree ramp to it like some of the other boots, ours is more of a flat, almost like a skate shoe feel.
Got it.
So, which I personally like. It feels like you're kind of on the board instead of over the edge. But
yeah.
some people like that, over the edge feel. But That's why we make both.
Yeah.
It's your choice.
Yeah, I remember my first time I ever jumped into a pair of boots that had a little bit of a drop, and I felt like I was like, my heel was like this high off the ground, and my toes were like that, and it was really kind of a unique feeling. But yeah, like, and I think that's another reason why I really like this. It's like it has zero drop, it's flat, it feels like a skate shoe, and yeah.
Well, and you're not that high off the board too. I mean, it's you know, there's just not a ton of extra cushioning there. I mean, there's a lot of cushioning built in, and then you know we have a lot of cushioning in our bindings. You know, so you still overall have a lot of cushioning, but you're not very high off the board.
Yep.
So.
Cool. And then we have the Ion. Now Ion.
Yeah, Ion's just team favorite here for sure. So you know, if you do like that, you know, real stiff kind of feel to it, you go to the one piece upper. It definitely is a much stiffer feel.
Yeah.
So you got the hard plastic toe cap for, you know, trouncing around the backcountry. Super durable. Does have the new life liner in it too. So they did
same liner as the Almighty.
Yep, same liner. That is our kind of new high-end liner.
Yep. So if what is the kind of the rider for the Ion?
Well, really anybody. Like I said, a lot of guys on our team ride this. You know, Danny, Mark. You know, a lot of guys that, you know, and those guys are, you know, they're obviously operating at a much higher level than most people. Far higher than myself. So I'm in sales. I'm not on the team, but you know, those guys are, you know, they're going off these huge jumps. You know, they're landing, they're sticking these land. They need that, you know, that extra power. You know, Danny going huge in the pipe. It's like they need to be able to, you know, put all that force into the board. So that's why they kind of choose a little stiffer boot.
Yeah, and you know, a great thing about the Ion even though it is a very stiff and responsive style boot, the way that the lacing system works with where the lacing poles are, it's like high above your metatarsal, so you get less pinching. You've explained that before.
That is something that is in all of our boots. It's called Total Comfort.
Yep.
So it's something that, you know, they worked on and just figured out. It is something simple. So what it is actually start the laces a little bit further back on the boot. Because what they kind of found is, you know, they wanted to make the boots, you know, more comfortable right out of the box, and then also, you know, just work better overall. So by sliding the laces back, it gets past that kind of like, you know, metatarsal. Pretend these are toes. You get past that metatarsal region there, and you know the laces aren't, you know, pinching your, you know, it's not pinching your feet like this. It's just it's kind of further back. And then, you know, they widen the toe box a little bit so your toes can sit flat. And really, you know, your instep, you know, everything your instep up here, you know, and back, you know, you got your ankle strap, that's you know, that's more important there to hold the end of the boot.
Yep, you're right.
So,
and you know, they work well with Burton bindings, they work well with all bindings, but you know, there's just something special about Burton boots. There really is. I've been in so many pairs. I think my first real pair of boots were Burton Stumpies, and that was like 90s whatever.
Yep.
90 whatever.
Low backs to no backs.
Yep. A total different subject. I actually just purchased the first board I ever rented, a 1992 Burton Air.
Oh, nice.
I got it, so I'm going to rip that thing this season.
Triangles? Blue triangles? That one?
I can't remember. It has the fly. The 92-93 Burton Air.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Good board. Well, hey, Jason, thank you for sitting with us, walking through the brand new Almighty with the weave and the Ion, a classic team favorite boot. If you guys are looking for boots for the season, jump into a pair of Burtons. You're not going to regret it at all. Jason, thanks so much.
Cool, man. Appreciate it.
Cool. Thanks for watching.